Alright, it is early January 1863. Just to give you a heads up, there were a few battles this turn, didn't go my way, so this has led me to the decision that I just have to go all in Virginia. And I'll kind of get into it in just a little bit on why that is. Um, but again, as I always do, I'll start out here in the far west. Now, I'm not moving these guys to Virginia. It just doesn't make sense. It'd take them over a year to get over there. So right now, I'm running out of food. I don't know if these two cities here maintain enough food for him to be able to just sit there with the forces he has. I definitely can't. So I'm building a depot. I'm out of the wagon here. Hopefully that gives me enough, food to maintain this right here. Um, and this is just a side game at this point. It's not going to really matter one way or the other. Um, I did get it's an event. I get an Indian unit. I got them here. I'm just moving them out and trying to get them back over here at this point, and these guys are just sitting right here. As you know, last turn, I started moving this division out. He's going over to Virginia. It's going to take him a little while to get there. Um, Probably everything I do over there will be decided before they get there, but whatever. I got my two cav here. Once he tries to move south, I'll just burn it and get out. Um, I was moving these guys out of Western Tennessee anyway. I'm probably going to keep the Indians here, just kind of harass them, tear rail lines. Doesn't really matter anyway. I don't really plan on retaking this area, even if things go well in Virginia. Because that being said, like I could take DC and the game could still not be over. So I'd probably have to rail guys back out this way, but it won't be over here. I had moved uh, Johnston with that division of volunteers and that elite cavalry. I got the elite cav going to Virginia. I am going to keep Johnston with that with those volunteers and militia, and they're just going to replace. I'll probably just set them inside the city, to be honest with you. They're going to replace uh, these two divisions here. These are going to Virginia, just not this turn. It's going to be next turn that I start shipping them over there. You'll see I don't have much rail points, so I can't send everything over at once. I got this little division here going over to Virginia. I got Morgan's cavalry going over to Virginia. Um, these guys are sitting put for another turn. Next turn, I hope to send these two corps plus the two divisions down in New Orleans and start heading them over to Virginia. Now, I'll probably leave this cavalry division out here, probably this unit here, set them up here in Stevenson or Chattanooga. I'm just going to try to hold this area. He'll move south, probably. He definitely will. I just don't know how many of these troops he would divert over to Virginia once he knows what I'm about to do. Um, move over here. So what happened? So as you'll remember last turn, I decided to move my two corps into Alexandria, try to attack, because I knew at least one of his corps wouldn't be supported. I wasn't sure he had a corps here. Actually, doesn't. He's got maybe. I guess it is a corps, but just with one division. Although that's a lot of power for one division. So I don't know. Um, it didn't turn out so well for me. So there was a battle here at Fredericksburg, and there was a battle at Alexandria. So the first one was the battle at Fredericksburg. I didn't do too bad as far as, casualties were almost the same. I lost 161 more men than he did. Of course, he outnumbered me by like six or seven. Johnson got pushed out. I expected that to happen. And of course, Grant joined the battle, and I think that's what pushed him out. So he's got a beat up corps here. I'm sure he's going to take Fredericksburg next turn. My guy got pushed out over here to Culpeper, and that's fine. It didn't go this way, but I'm just gonna rail him back to Virginia anyway. It'll take like 4 or 5 turns to get there. But the battle I was really disappointed in was up here at Alexandria. I lost 19,000. He lost 14,000. That's not good. Um, so I had a big decision to make. I could either just go into defensive mode for the rest of the game, or just go all out for DC. The reason I'm going for DC is, as you know, we've played 2 games already. Me playing the CSA first game, him playing the Union, me playing CSA first game, me playing Union second game. I won both of them. You saw the last game. You didn't see the first one. I won as the CSA. I think it was in 1864. He just out west got annihilated in a battle, and that just kind of ended the game. But this game has been a lot different as far as playing the CSA. I've been a lot more aggressive. I've kind of found out, at least from these 2 experiences, you really have to pick your battles. You just have to kind of play defensively, just inching back, and then you just got to catch them at the right moment. If you try to attack everywhere, even if you win battles, like you're just losing too much men, it just doesn't work. As far from the experience I've had so far. So this game, I feel like I should have won this battle. Of course, he didn't have these numbers at first, so I'll take the screen off here. So when I first got in, he just had Hooker's Core here. He had Hooker's Core here, and there was 2 rounds of battles that I was sitting here watching where I had like 70, 80,000 men, and he had like 30, and then for some reason, like, I was losing more men just for that. Then Grant came in, and it just kind of went on the same way, and I was just losing men. So I could see Grant coming in right when the battle started, but I don't get the disparity between casualties. Plus, he's like heavily entrenched here, and I think he was maybe this level entrenchment, but I thought it was lower than that. But either way, it just didn't go the way I wanted it to. I have pretty good commanders. I mean, if you look at Hooker's Core, his Hooker's a defense of 2. He's got Porter or Hamilton, which I don't even think he was the commander. So there's just Hooker of 2. He did have 1 good defensive commander, 4, but then the other one's a 1 and a 2. Grant, of course, he's got good numbers. So I don't know, maybe I'm just complaining too much, but I had pretty good attacking commanders, like a 5, 3, 3, 4, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 3, 1, 1. So okay, it's probably even. I'm probably just complaining too much because I am a little pissed off at what happened here, but it is what it is. But anyway, so my replacements did bring up Smith's Core enough to where I think they can fight again. I'm not sure what their cohesion is. Yeah, they're still low cohesion. So what I've planned to do is I attached Smith to Lee, but I've just decided to put Lee or rail him to the stack, so Lee will just have his own stack. And by the way, this battle, Lee was not in the battle for some reason. I don't know why. I did have him on green evade combat. I thought they could still command a battle, maybe not. Tim seems to think you have to have a unit with it, like an artillery unit or something. I don't think you have to. I think it may just be posture. But either way, I got a core moving in here. Johnson's moving down here. So how this game could end pretty quickly. I've only got 2 divisions here. And if he just moves south, like he'll take Fredericksburg there. He has the rail line. He could get here in 1 turn and maybe get to Richmond in 2 turns. And if he does that, I won't have much here to stop him. So I'm taking a huge gamble here. Now I may be able to rail that core back down here if I see him moving south, which I definitely would. Um, and I may be okay, but that's taking a huge risk. But I don't feel like I can't play the slow game because the first two games we played based on morale. Like you couldn't win through victory points. Now, if you remember last game at all, like I could have just sat where I was, and I think I would have won by victory points. I didn't have to take Richmond. I probably didn't even have to take Atlanta. So we are playing by victory points now. So I can't just keep retreating because I've already. There's too much that's going on in this game already. I can't do it. Um, I don't think I'd win based on morale anyway, because he's just going to keep building up troops, building up troops. There's just been too much casualties here, and I'm on the losing end of it. So that's why I've decided to move everything to Virginia, try to take DC. If it doesn't work, it doesn't. Nothing's going to be defended on the coast. I'm going to have that small militia volunteer division in New Orleans. I probably shouldn't even leave them there, but I think I will. And I'm trying to go for DC. So when I get, what I'm going to try to do is in the next turn, I am going to start moving cav up in this area. Like my rangers start tearing up rail lines. I'm going to have those two corps out west or in Tennessee on the move, plus the two divisions in New Orleans. Now those two corps in Tennessee can get here in like 3 turns, I think, and the divisions in New Orleans can, I think, get here in 3. So I'm gonna probably set those divisions in New Orleans here in Richmond, just so he doesn't sweep around and take it real quick. I got Longstreet moving back in this area, and I've got that core with Lee. I don't know if he'll try to attack. I may, if it was me, I just may have this guy attack Fredericksburg and just have Grant go into Manassas here, and that would put me in a really bad situation. I couldn't move south. I could try to move over in this area, but that just cut me off of everything. I have a depot here, but I took the one out of here, and it just wouldn't be good. I'd have no way. He'd be between me and Richmond. So there could be a battle next turn that could decide this whole thing. I got Longstreet moving back. His corps beat up very badly. If you look here, Jackson's is still decent. So I'm just going to sit him right here. Just since I'm going for Washington here in the next 3 or 4 turns, I'm already here. And if he attacks me, I need to start being on the defensive. If Grant's going to be up here in these battles, I just have to stay on the defensive. And of course, since he had that early success, he's got the numbers. Like he's a 6.76. Now Longstreet's a 6.47. So he's a good match for him. I mean, they all are, but he still has the best numbers right now. And Lee's a 6.55, which is what he starts out as. Grant starts out as a 6.4. No, 6.64. So anyway, if he moves south, I'll move the core back. But if he moves here, hopefully I win the battle. And then I'll have those new divisions, all those divisions coming up here, and I'm just going to go for DC, and that's just the way it has to be. So this game will be over. I don't think it's going to make it into, probably not 64, definitely not 65. And we'll just see what happens. Now, of course, it is the beginning of the year, so what's up here? And by the way, his morale is like 107 because out of those 2 battles, there was a 3-point swing. So I'm at 99 morale. He's at like 107. I was going to raise taxes, but that costs morale, so I'm just doing war bonds right now, which I don't really need money at the moment because I don't have the troops to use on them. So I'm using the bonds. I I am able to pay for volunteers again. My computer gets really slow. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to get a new computer. Um, it's when I pull up the thing to make these videos though. I am doing the premium, no premium. I'll probably get some troops. Now, if I win this next battle and there's a morale swing, I'll probably do the taxes and I'll probably do the mobilization. Which there's still the partial one, but there's the full one. Good grief. Right here, it'd give me 500 conscripts at 4 morale, and that's why I was waiting, because this one gives you 200 conscripts at 2, so this is kind of the better bargain in my opinion. So I got that. There was the option again to do requisitions and drafts, so I should get some money from that and some more troops as well. I mean, there's a few other small things, you know, I'm moving and doing, but it's not really worth mentioning. So I'll send this over to Tim, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so this should be a pretty quick video. It's late January 63. He has all of his troops in Alexandria. So I'm going to be very aggressive here and go for a knockout blow. He's not really dug in. And I'm moving Meade and his 3 divisions up to support Hooker and his 4. My hope here is that, you know, that'll be 7 divisions involved in battle to start. And then the rest of the forces will join, which will include now Kearney, that I've pulled back from Fredericksburg, Grant with his 4 divisions, and then Whipple with his 3. So we'll see. Hopefully we can really, I mean, at a minimum, just really bleed them. That's the goal, if not altogether destroy them. But we'll see. Really fast over here. I'm going to move down out of Paducah with Lion. And I'm just going to start solidifying my presence, get down here to Memphis and reestablish this front down here. Over here, I'm using a few Indian cards because it's getting annoying. So the military control is going down slowly, but he is not engaging this guy. Like, I can't attack him for whatever reason. I don't know if it's glitched or what, but it's screwing up my supply line. So like here, I don't have supply here anymore. I have a fair amount up here at this fort, but it's not getting pulled forward down to here. So I'm playing this card that attacks an enemy unit. So now it doesn't cost anything, which is nice, but we're using it on him. And then down here, I'm using this card to get rid of this tribe so that these guys won't keep spawning. And then I'm also using that free card to try and kill that Indian. So beyond that, just the same old with the shipping and moving in and out, trying to take out his raiders. I did make 106 from merchant ships this turn. And then as far as spending, we're completely exhausted on our replacement ships. So we threw 14 into line infantry, then a smidge into militia and that sort of thing, and then some into artillery. And then we're building 3 HQs and some infantry. I am going to burn 2 morale, which I know as a union is always a little dangerous. We had 107, we now have 105, but it's going to reduce that inflation by 1%, give us $800,000 to keep up with the replacements, allow me to keep producing more units on the battlefield to keep bringing forward. And then hopefully things go well here, where this 2 morale that I lost doesn't really affect us at all. We'll see. Alright, and then let me just give you the raw numbers just really quick, since I don't think I've gone over this in a little bit. He's lost 164,000, which is pretty wild. That was like the very beginning of 63, and he's already lost 164, and I've lost 152. So it's a lot. That's a lot of casualties for this fairly early into the game. All right, I'm gonna get this turn over to Josh, and then we'll be back. Okay, it's early 63. Got a few generals this turn. Well, we got a lot of generals, but only a couple of decent ones. I'll go through those really quick before we go through everything else. Where's he at? Alright, so we got Barlow, 331, Blair, 311, but militia, whatever. I think it's the biggest waste of a bonus stat ever. 311 again, 322, 311, but with a defense bonus, which is nice. And then a 312. Now, the thing is with this, overcautious, right? I think that only goes against you if he's in command of the stack. Yeah, so as long as he's not commanding a stack, you're fine with him. Alright, now, interestingly, he left nobody in Manassas. And I'm debating this for a little bit now. And I'm going to go all in and try and destroy his army of Northern Virginia. I'm going to do that by surrounding him. Now, to maximize the opportunity for me to accomplish this, I'm going to bring Kearney back across the river. So I hate to give up, Fredericksburg, but it is on a rail line. So if I can take this while I'm moving out, although I don't think that'll happen because it's only going to take me a day to rail, that'd be nice. But I might bounce back down here next turn depending on what happens here. I'm hoping I can hold here. So, I only have 4 divisions, and it's going to take some time for my other corps to move to the sound of guns. But if I can pull this off, this might be the game. And here's why I say this. I'm going to move Grant to Manassas. He's got 4 divisions. I've got Meade here, who's got 2 divisions, but I'm moving a 3rd division up out of Kearney's force here. So I'm moving Reynolds up, put him into Meade, and then I'm moving Kearney up. So I'll have 2 corps here, 4 divisions, and a corps here under Grant. I have 4 divisions here, and then I have 2 more divisions back here. So that's the whole force, right? That's going to be going to Alexandria. The only weakness in my plan is Hooker, who's now my corps commander here, which is nice, needs to be able to hold out long enough for these other corps to get there. So we'll see. But if that happens, I'd say 2/3 of his entire force on the map is right here in Alexandria. He didn't leave anybody behind in Manassas. We beat Johnston pretty heavily. We know what he's got there. It's less than a corps at this point. So if I can get Jackson stuck here in Alexandria, heck, he could beat Hooker back. But if he's surrounded, he's going to lose supply pretty quick, and then we just have to hope we can hold out long enough to choke him of reserves and then destroy him. So we'll see. I am moving this guy down towards Leesburg just to decrease the chance that he could pop over here. And honestly, I'm probably going to pull him out too. And he's going to be there. So he shouldn't have a chance anywhere to retreat if I can get to Manassas. So that's what we're going to do there. It's going to be a pretty big turn. Pulling forces forward as usual. I've got about another almost division coming down to DC. We did get another new general and unit. We got Horn's Brigade, and he's a pretty good commander. He's got surprise, and then he also has a strong morale bonus, plus he's a 322. So I needed another division commander over here in the west anyway, so I'm going to bring him down to Cairo. I'm moving Sherman and a division as well as Lions up here to Paducah, and then I'm going to move out and start taking these areas along the Mississippi so that I can get supply down to Memphis. I'm bringing the horse guy down here to take there, and I might just rail him down, and I just basically want to connect Memphis with my supply line there. That's about all that's going on there. We do have those two little Indian units up here that are just being annoying. And let's go through the events. All right, Emancipation Proclamation. If you recall, we did that a little bit earlier in the game. That just gives us a lot more conscripts, which we're doing really well on right now, by the way. Yeah, which is that one right there. Gain 200 to 500 conscript companies. And alters foreign entry by 5. Which, whatever. It's negative 15%. Alright, battles, let's go though. We did get 3 national morale, by the way. So, let's see. This is Spotsylvania. That was against Johnston. So that's what he has. He's about 13,000 south of Manassas. He'll probably move him forward, try and move him into Manassas, I suspect. So there might be another battle there as Grant moves into Manassas. And then we have 3 national morale from the Alexandria defense. So this is what he's got. He's got, geez, like 65,000 troops. And that's it in Alexandria. We had almost 92,000. Now down to, what, high 70s? But that wasn't even our whole army, right? That didn't include Kearney's Corps. That didn't include now Whipple, who I've now attached as well. So we'll be back up in the 90,000s, but he'll be at like 65,000. I'm not going to attach him because he only has 1 division. I just pulled him out to make sure he can't flee up to this region, which I don't think he can anyways because I have 100 military control, but better safe than sorry. All right, and then as far as money's concerned, we're doing really well. We got 50 from unused war supply. We got 118 from merchant ships. I was tempted to raise taxes because we've got 107 morale, but I really want this morale for these next couple battles, so I might use this in a couple turns because I want to really keep the pressure on. So I want to be able to keep pumping units out, keeping my replacements, above ground, while at the same time keeping on the offensive on them. But we are doing the war bonds, so we'll have that next turn. And then, rail line and Riverpool. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, one other thing I did do, which I do beginning January for the Union, just burn all the requisition cards. If you're not playing for victory points, which I'm not, I'm playing for total victory. Costs you 10 loyalty, which you've got so many areas you can put these in. I like to put them in like up near towards Maine or all the way over here in like Michigan or something like that, which I did here because they're inconsequential. And you get 35,000. So 35,000 times 6, pretty good chunk of money. All right. Let's see how this goes. Like, I won't be surprised if he pulls Johnson forward towards Manassas. I just need Hooker to hold out. He can hold out just one more turn. Also, one of the nice things about using Grant when you're attacking is he very rarely does not miss his activation roll, right? Which for the Union can be very problematic. Okay, so this is at Manassas. So it looks like he pulled Longstreet back. That's just Grant. That's not Meade or Kearney joining the battle, or Hooker for that matter. Oh, you know what he did? He probably pulled Longstreet back, and then when he pulled Johnston forward, that army under Johnston got put under Grant. There we go. Now everybody's there. 105,000. That's not even my entire army, by the way. I've got 2 divisions back there in DC that are not a part of this fight right now. So I should be able to take Manassas. Now it's just a matter of how many troops do I lose. Okay. So I lost 5. He lost 47. Curious where his troops went. Alright. So that was day 9. Looks like he was not attacking in Alexandria. He got pushed into Alexandria. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, yes. The noose has been tightened. Oh my god. I have his entire army surrounded. Oh no. No! He might be able to get away. He put a guy up here. And I don't know why this guy... Oh, he didn't make it yet. Okay. It's problematic for us, but we're gonna go and just slaughter them now. We're just gonna go red. Alright. Because these guys are all recovered now, which is nice. He's cut off for now, although he might go that way. Alright, I'm gonna have to look at this because I didn't anticipate this problem. That guy was supposed to be there, but it looks like he missed his activation roll, so he didn't make it. He has enough military control here to make a move this way. I don't know, because at some point, if there's a large enough force in the region you share, sometimes it won't let you move out unless you have to have like a certain percentage of military control in the area you're trying to move into. I'm trying to catch that chick. She's going around spying on me. Alright. So that's going really well. I can't get my hopes up though, because in this game it is very difficult to capture an army. Which, you know, it was in the real world too, so. Alright, so that's what we got here. We got Lion. And then Sherman, and then I'm going to bring the new guy we got here down. He's going to be our 2nd division, and then we're going to start rolling out on the way down there, so. I think if I take him by boat. Yeah, he'll be there. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start rolling out here. Getting Memphis connected. Alright, we got 1,200 cash to play with. By the way, this is what I forgot to show you what we were doing last turn. So I burned through all my replacements, so I need to, you know, throw a lot into that right now, actually. Alright, so I'll do that. Here's what I'm building. And let me go through, get the rest of my movements done. And sorry, I'm just doing these things before I forget. Alright, thanks.
Alright, it is late January 1863. Just kind of give you an overview of everything that's going on. Do a little bit more in detail this time. I'm just trying to get my Indian guy out here. I'm trying to get rid of his depot. These two guys are still opposing each other. Up here, I was able to get a depot. Excuse me. So he should be fine here. He's got a depot as well. I don't know if this can support his troops, like the amount of supply he gets. So I'm sitting here, I'm trying to watch this little green bar here. I'm just trying to wait and see if it goes down a little bit. My guys are regaining cohesion. Once they do, I'm probably going to just send a unit here, probably in the springtime, and then maybe try to go to take this. And then I don't think he'd have enough It's just a level 1 city, 2 supply. He'd have 9 supply coming in. So just to kind of give you an idea, I know my unit's a little bigger, but this unit takes 27 per turn. So let's just say he takes that half that. That'd be what, 10, like 13 and a half. So I don't think he's got the supply to keep these troops here. He'll have to move one back and just get him out of there. I think eventually I can take this if the game lasts that long. Of course, Missouri and Arkansas, pretty much just abandoning that altogether. I got my cav here. Um, he'll probably try to move down here soon, and I'm going to just burn the depot, come down here, burn this depot, and the towns maybe, I don't know. Got my guy here. If he makes a move over here, I'm going to burn that depot, and just kind of tear up these rails. Take him a while to take all this area, just because of the size of the area. Now I do have that one division coming down to Vicksburg. I haven't decided if I'm going to move them to Virginia yet. Most likely I will. If not, I'm going to move them down here to New Orleans. Of course, I got my unit that was here on the rail lines. They're headed over to Virginia. Sorry, I had to check a text there. Over here, I'm just kind of tearing up rail lines, trying to tear them up here as well. Get rid of this depot, and just try to leave nothing for him to get here. Make it as hard as possible for him to either move east or south. I got all my forces here pretty much going to Virginia. I am keeping one division here. I'm going to join him up with this guy here. And then I'm going to keep my cav unit here as well. The reason I'm keeping the cav unit is because cav really doesn't do well in battles like a division of cavalry. It just doesn't. So there's really no point in moving them out there. And I will have plenty of cav over there, I think. Hopefully, it's really going to depend on what happens in the next like 3 or 4 turns. If I can take Richmond, I might not even get my troops over there to avoid losing this game. These guys should be there in I think 2 or 3 turns. And then of course I don't know how long it would take them to get down here to Chattanooga. If this turns into a longer game, you don't want to lose Chattanooga. So, you know, like I said, this is a gamble, but I have to take it at this point. Let's see. There was a battle plus an event. Oh, that was the volunteers. There was a battle. He did move into Alexandria, or no, I'm sorry, Manassas, and he won the battle. He didn't take the city. Now, he lost a few more men than me, but it's not really anything of substance. Anytime I use this recording device, my computer just is super slow, so I'm trying to pull the battle up here. So he lost 5,218. I lost 4,766. Of course, he had 108,000, and I had less than half of that. So right now, I got all my forces sitting here in Alexandria with no city, no way to resupply. Although I hope I'll get the supply siphoned out of here. I don't know if that happens when he's got military control, though, which he pretty much does. So I don't know if I'll get anything from that. I would imagine I could stay here maybe 3 turns without starting to get hungry. So hopefully that big force I got coming will be here. Now, if I was him, I would just sit here. You know, I mean, I'd have Grant take Manassas here. Like, I wouldn't attack. I would just sit here because I have to move. And the only way I can really move without attacking is going this way. And then if I'm going this way and he's got his defenses solid up here, he could go down to take to Richmond. Now he doesn't know I have those other troops coming. He might have the idea of that next turn. Um, I hope he attacks me. Um, all my forces are in one area. I hope he just attacks, and maybe he thinks all of them will join. I mean, he does have low. I know one of these corps beat up here. He's got two here. One's 1933 under Meade, but if you'll see, he's got another corps with about 1,000 power, but that's the one that got beat up at Fredericksburg. So I kind of moved around some of the divisions because Longstreet Corps was beat up, and I just don't want to have one super weak division. So I kind of moved around divisions in here. Ewell is out. If I can pull it up here, if you look at his division, like it's pretty much ineffective. Like he's got a 51 power force, so I'm trying to just move him out, move him down here, and we'll try to get him to Richmond. I do have AP Hill. So he has a pretty good division there, and I still got Forest here, which a lot of this is Cav. So I mean, I have a small force here. I don't feel like I'm gonna move them at the moment. I just need to keep something here in Richmond for the moment. And then of course I still have Smith training up troops. So I think the game really will come down here. Like if he attacks and I get annihilated, it's over. He could starve me out. It is winter time. I don't know what he's got here. I got Pickett up here trying to come up here and just kind of set up a defense. But, if I was him, I'd roll this division over there as well. He can take it, I'm sure. I wouldn't have a depot here, so when I moved that way, even if I got out, I'd be out of supply. I'm just not in a good spot here. So, that being said, Tim is aggressive. I've told you this 1,000 times. Hopefully he just attacks me and I win the battle. And that could change my fortunes in this whole game. Depending on what would happen, I may still just try to go for Richmond. If I have a big victory, I may rail those guys back down to New Orleans and back out to Tennessee. Kind of play more for the long game. We'll see. Other than that, I have 818 in cash. Now, I mean, I need the troops, but my morale is 99. His is at like 107. I can do the event where it get me 500 conscripts, but I think it cost me like 5 morale. So let's pull it up here and see. Full mobilization costs 4 morale. Then of course I could get some more money too, raise taxes, but that would cost 2 morale. So I just don't have it to spend right now. Depending on what happens in the next turn or two, I may just buy the conscripts and do it and just take the morale hit. We'll see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We'll get this turn around.